Birthing more than 10 leads a week with social media. Obviously, this information is very needed. I actually tried to do a webinar last night, and a storm came through, and it kept interfering with my internet access. So people kept getting kicked off the webinar every time I got kicked off the webinar. Well, I promised to re-record and make sure that you got all the valuable information that was given during that webinar. And today I re-recorded the webinar only to find that the audio on it wasn't correct. So with all of that being said, the lesson in all of this, and definitely a coaching opportunity, is whenever you're birthing a baby, because webinars is my new baby, a new form of me delivering information, there's always going to be labor pains. But what you have to do is you have to keep pushing until that baby is born, and you can't give up during the labor pains. Hence me recording this webinar again to make sure that you receive this valuable information. Now, what we're going to be learning about today is birthing more than 10 leads a week with social media. Now, who is Aneri Bellamy? Well, I can tell you who I'm not. I'm not a person with a master's degree or bachelor's degree in marketing or business administration. I am a stay-at-home mom who got curious about the internet world. My oldest child is 16, and at that time, making money online was not as well known as it is now. But I had discovered some people that were actually doing so, especially some moms that were doing so. So I went out and I started searching on places like Elance and Upworks, which was then Odesk, and I discovered that people actually paid people to write online. So that was how I started my first virtual business. I was writing online. Then I developed a business doing administrative work for different people. Now, the people I targeted were internet marketing people that were making six figures or more because I wanted to learn how they were doing it. I wanted to learn exactly how to get that done. Well, in order to have me do what they need me to do, they needed to teach me how to do it. So although the pay was not great, I mean, some jobs were $4, some were $5 an hour, some were $8 an hour, I gained the education of how they were doing it. Then I took that I learned and things I learned from other places, and I began to play with it. And I began to implement my own ideas because I've never have been one to go with the grain just because everybody else is going. And with all of that, I've developed and mastered product development and marketing, which is a service that I offer. My website is AneriBellamy.com. Now, let's talk about the fail before the success. I came to a point where, in discovering that writing generated revenue, I started becoming hungry to see just how much revenue I could create. So what I did was I took on more writing clients than I could handle. What this ended up doing was it ended up causing me a $3,000 a month contract just for writing. And the way it did that was I was unable to meet the deadline, 350 words, and I was unable to write that 350-word sample in order to secure the contract. I tell that part to say there's always a down time before success from an empowerment point of view, and to let you know that when it comes to social media, if you post because of your brand and you post because of your intelligence and the things that you know how to do and your passion, the income will come. If you post solely on income, it's going to show through your post, and you're actually going to be running your target audience away instead of drawing them to you. So again, the successes that I've learned through my failures and through my practice and through learning under others is a lot of what I'll be sharing with you not only in this webinar, but in webinars to come. And all of it together I use to birth the Institute of Entrepreneurial Success. This is where I share tips and products and ebooks and all kind of things that help entrepreneurs get to their next level. Being a business doula from the coaching point of view, I help you birth products and marketing strategies to take your business to the next level. Okay, so what we'll learn about today. We're going to learn about Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, and yes, Snapchat. We're also going to share with you some bonus information that can help you push your business to the next level, our upcoming events, some giveaways, and specials. Okay, let's talk about Twitter. We all know that Twitter is something that you tweet on. That part we've gathered. But in business, a lot of times, the struggle is with how to use Twitter to actually generate leads. What I did was I'm going to compare Twitter to the platforms that we already know or that we may know a little better than we know Twitter. So let's start with Facebook. Twitter is really nothing other than a short Facebook status. Take your Facebook status, reduce it by 140 words, and you have a tweet. What it does is, one, it challenges us to get to the meat of what we're trying to say. And the beauty of Twitter is it goes to everyone's feed. It doesn't just go to your current feed. It goes to everyone's feed. So unlike Facebook, when a person can't get on there for a certain amount of time, your information drops further and further to the bottom, especially in groups, and they have to scroll forever to actually see everything that's been posted. Twitter feeds it straight to their feed. If they're your followers, it's going to come straight to them. Pinterest. Twitter is a lot like Pinterest in that it's all about photos and boards and pictures. So just like you can post pictures on Pinterest, you can post pictures on Twitter. Now, how Twitter links with LinkedIn, it's the same thing. It's a shorter status, 140-word status of anything that you would write on LinkedIn. Same thing with Google+. So it's basically just another social media platform where you say the exact same things, you just say it in less words. Okay, posting strategies for Twitter. Post popular stuff from other people. There is nothing wrong with retweeting other people's stuff. It actually helps drastically with your engagement. Next, you want to integrate natural life tweets. There's nothing wrong with posting about, just stop by for a cup of coffee on my way to the office, going out to meet some clients today, hoping for a new contract. Today I helped my client birth 2 products. Whatever the case may be that lets them know that you are actually in business and you are actually doing business are great tweets to do. You also want to retweet some of your old tweets. The information is still good. Why not recycle it? And then you want to integrate the trends into your business. Now, what I mean by that is let's look at basketball, for example. Basketball is trending right now. If you have a fitness business, you can actually integrate the word basketball or the hashtag basketball into your fitness. You can say, hashtag basketball is a great way to stay fit. Now, let's talk about the bonus. I have found on not only Hootsuite but Buffer that under the Publisher tab there is something called Suggested. If you hit the Suggested tab, it actually pulls up suggestions according to what you normally post. This is so awesome because all you have to do is go and check the ones that you want to share with your audience that tailor to your business and hit schedule, and it schedules those tweets for you. You don't have to look at them anymore. You don't have to worry about when they're going out. It's already done. And the amazing thing is it's information that people already trust because it grew my favorites, it grew my following, and it grew my retweets just doing that. And it takes all of 5 minutes. Now, engagement strategy. You want to reply to at least 10 users a day. It doesn't matter who they are. You can say, great post, thank you for sharing, awesome information, I'd like to know more, just some kind of reply to actually engage your people. Then you want to propose questions about corresponding topics. So let's say somebody has graphic designing tweet out. You may want to ask a question about color. I'm looking to create happiness in my graphics. What color should I use? Pose questions. You can pose questions to your audience as well. How was your day? What do you struggle with in business? What do you struggle with in staying fit? What do you Where would you like to travel if you could travel? And then thank people for sharing your posts. When people retweet your information, go over and thank you. Thank them for the retweet. Let them know that you actually appreciate what they have done. And then you, too, want to do the same thing. You want to retweet at least 3 posts per day. Not 3 of your old posts per day, but 3 of someone else's posts per day. So as you can see, if you use that bulk scheduler and just retweet some of your own information, and 3 other people's information in a day, your Twitter is already done. And even a retweet can be scheduled. Okay, following strategy. Here's the thing. What we automatically want to do is we want to go into Twitter and we want to follow everybody. But there's a strategy to this because you don't want to have thousands and thousands of people you're following and nobody following you, because then it looks like you're not engaging and it's not worth the follow. So what you want to do is you want to only refollow those people that bring you substance as well, because just because you bring them substance doesn't mean that they're good for you or somebody that you need to follow. And then you want to look at those who retweet on a regular basis. If they retweet on a regular basis, then you want to follow them and encourage them to follow you back. Why? Because that means they're going to retweet your information as well. Then you want to look at your competition's following list. A lot of times we don't think to do this. If there's other graphic designers out there, follow them and then look at who's following them or who their followers are. That way you're able to tap into an audience that they've already built. Now, how do you do this? It's simple. You just start retweeting some of their information or commenting on the things that they've tweeted, and you're putting yourself in front of other people. Now, take out the trash is important. What do I mean when I say take out the trash? Unfollow people that have stopped being active. Unfollow people who are not bringing any substance to the table, because at the end of the day, they're only using up numbers that you need to use for more valuable followers that's actually going to generate revenue and leads for yourself. So a lot of times with Twitter, the reason why we don't have leads is because the people that's following us are not interested in what we have to offer. Hashtags. Oh, my goodness. Hashtags are used all kind of ways. But in business, we definitely want to use it the business way. Now, personally, people hashtag for just about anything, and they'll almost hashtag a whole post. But in business, that is not a good idea. Your hashtags are basically your keywords. That means these are words that people will use to find you. So if you post a marketing tip, then your hashtag should be hashtag marketing or hashtag biz tip or something like that. You want to look at other high-end Facebook pages that have already developed a wide range of followers and see what hashtags they use and how you can use that same hashtag along with some of your content in order to get yourself in front of their audience. Now, they can occur anywhere in a tweet. A lot of people don't know this, but it can be in the beginning, it can be in the middle, or it can be in the end. You just have to strategically use it. I'll give you an example. If you want to do a Motivation Monday tweet, you can do hashtag Motivation Monday and then do the quote, or you can do stay motivated today on this Motivational Monday. So you can use it at the end, or you can use it in the middle, and you can say every day is a day to stay motivated, just like Motivation Monday. The sky's the limit, but you can use it in the middle, the beginning, or the end. So be strategic about your hashtags. Don't just throw them at the end. And then research how they're being used, how other people are using them, so you can make sure that it's one worth using. And then use hashtags only on tweets related to the topic. So if you're doing a marketing tweet, you wouldn't hashtag graphic design. Or if you're doing an inspirational tweet, you wouldn't hashtag marketing tip. So make sure that it goes along with whatever your topic is. And the last thing is don't spam your tweets with hashtags. In other words, don't use more than 2. 2 is more than enough to get your message across. But using 5 or 6 or 100 of the 140 words being hashtags is not a good idea. Facebook. Let's talk about Facebook. What Facebook really does. Facebook helps you to get discovered. It's one of those things that will pull up on Google before your website if you have a strong enough Facebook presence. I know if you actually Google Institute of Entrepreneurial Success, there's other entrepreneurial institutes that come up as far as their websites, but my Facebook page is one of the first ones that comes up, and it's actually like 2 or 3 on Google under that keyword. Connected. Facebook helps you to be connected with other people you can network with, other people you can do events with, not just your clients, not just your leads. Facebook is also timely. It allows you to communicate on a regular basis quickly. So you could actually generate a lead and close a lead within minutes on Facebook. Then you also, it's an opportunity for you to be insightful. Basically, brand yourself. Let people know that you know what you're talking about. And that can all be done simply through your post. Okay, let's talk about posting strategy. Talk to and not at your audience. That is so important. We tend to talk at our audience. I'm having an event tomorrow, sign up. Come sign up for this or buy this or this book is a good read, you need to get it, that kind of thing. I'm offering a coaching sale, sign up. What you want to do is you want to talk to them. So you ask yourself, if somebody was going to get me to sign up for this or read this or engage in this or sign up for my email list, what would they say to me? And that is the exact same thing you need to say to your audience. I'll give you a prime example. Snapchat. When talking about Snapchat, if you notice, I talked to you. Or any post for this event, I talked to you. I identified with the struggles that I have been through in trying to learn social media, and I'm sure that you were at in some areas. But I never talked at the audience. I always talked to them. Everything I posted had some kind of substance. So you want to post with a purpose. Do I want them to buy? Do I want them to just pay attention? Do I want to make them feel good? Do I want to spark their interest? What is your purpose? Always post with a purpose. And then you don't want to spam your Facebook pages. You don't want to post every hour, every 30 minutes. You don't want to go in groups and post in the same groups 5 or 6 times a day. That doesn't get you visibility. That actually does the opposite. It turns people off, and they'll start skipping over your information and not even reading it. The other thing you want to do is you want to mix it up. When I say mix it up, what I mean is you want to do long posts, you want to do short posts. You want to share poems, you want to share stories. You want to share pictures, you want to share videos. You want to just mix it up so that you're not giving them the same content over and over again. Then you want to comment from your page. We often forget to do this. We like other people's Facebook page, and then we go over there as ourselves from our personal page and like and comment. But that doesn't help us brand our business. That doesn't get us in front of other people that could use our services. So it's important that we go to our page and then feed over to the pages that we've liked and engage those pages from our business page. Then you want to brand yourself. Now, what do I mean when I say brand yourself? It's beautiful to share quotes from other people. I've done it. Social Boom, I was very into her post, and I was resharing her stuff all the time. And people loved it, and of course they were resharing, but the problem behind that was I was branding her and not me. So what you have to do is, if you have quotes out there that you like, it's fine to use those quotes as long as you give those people credit for it. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you have your brand on it somewhere. So when it's being shared and it's going viral, you're branding yourself and not someone else. Here's another posting strategy, or 2 more bonus tips for posting strategies. One, where it says publish or post here on your business page, it says publish. If you click that, there's actually a way to schedule posts out for months and years to come. The beauty of that is, although Hootsuite and other things like that does it, it's shown that it's automated. Like, they can see that this was automatically done. This person is actually not taking time to communicate with me. They just have me on an automation system. But when you do it straight from Facebook, it doesn't show that it's been pre-scheduled. It just posts. So it gives people the feeling that you're actually paying them attention. Now, here's the other beauty. did you know that you can actually link your Twitter and your Facebook? What you do is you go to Twitter and you go down to apps, and then you link it to your Facebook. Now, every time you tweet, it posts on Facebook. Well, what's the beauty behind that? Remember when we talked about the suggested posts that you can tweet for Twitter? What happens is when you suggest them to be posted there, they'll also post on your Facebook page. I've noticed just in doing that, not only was I growing 2 platforms at the same time for 5 minutes a day or 5 minutes a week, it was actually growing my Facebook as well. I started getting more likes. I started getting more post reach. I started getting more shares. So that's a great way to actually integrate the 2 platforms and grow them both at the same time. Best posting practices. You want to alternate your update length. In other words, like I said before, you want them to be long, some short. Mix it up. Then you want to use hashtags, but again, no more than 2, and make sure that they're relevant to what you're posting. And your image size. You want your image size to be 403 by 403. Now, what this does is it keeps your picture from going from clear when you download it to fuzzy when you actually put it up on Facebook. Now, another great place to make sure that your graphics are in line, especially if you're doing quick picture quotes, would be createaquote.com. I think that's what it's called. It's a free service where you can go in and you can create quotes, and they have several right there for you to choose from. And then it asks you, who the author is or who shared the quote. So what you would do is you would give the author of the quote credit in the actual picture, and then down there you would use your Twitter handle or Facebook handle or website in order to drive traffic. But you already know that it's the right size without having to resize it as you're creating it. Then you want to vary the uses of images with links. What does this mean? This means that you want to put the links inside your image sometimes, but sometimes you actually want to repeat the words that's on your image at the top of the image and put the link there. So you definitely want to vary the 2, mainly because Facebook looks at that and actually frowns on you having a link in the body of your information all the time. So hiding it in your actual photo is a great way to stay in compliance. Then you want to learn your audience. And what I mean by that is you want to look at how they respond to your post. And then you want to take that and do more posts about that. Like if they show a great desire for a particular topic, then 1, it could be a product that you could develop under that topic. And 2, you know what kind of posts to continue to do to keep them engaged. Now let's talk about the AIDA factor. Every post that you post should be able to do these things. It should be able to grab a person's attention, your target audience's attention. It should be able to keep, spark, and hold their attention, plus their interest. And when I say interest, the post should be something that they're interested in. Again, the reason why you learn your audience. So you're making sure that you're actually posting something that they desire to learn about or desire more information on. And then you want to go into desire. And what I mean by desire is you want to make sure that your post stirs up something in them, gets them to thinking about their business, about their goals, about themselves. And then you want to encourage them to take action. So now that you've got their attention and they're interested in what you have to say and what you said stirred a desire in them, the only thing left for them to do is to take action and become your clients, take action and buy your services or your products. Now, 6 types of engaging posts. Okay, you have photos. As they say, a picture says 1,000 words. And then you have fill in the blanks. An example would be like, my biggest pet peeve with Google is, and then people could just start commenting about their pet peeves about Google. Well, it could be that their pet peeves is just because they don't know how to use a particular app or service. Now, again, you've created an avenue for you to either connect with someone who is an expert at what they're struggling, and you guys share the revenue from a webinar or something like that, or you create the product yourself. Then you got photo captions. Now, with the photo captions, what that does is have the people post a picture and then let the people tell you what that picture stirs up in them, what they think of when they see that picture. That's actually not only fun, but a way to engage your audience and promote your audience, because what you could do from there is, if they are other business owners, you can actually give that business credit and say, the owner, Sandy, the owner of Out the Box, shared this caption with this picture. What do you think? That sort of thing. Also, pose questions. You can start your post with a question. You can end your post with a question, or your post can simply be a question. Then, to engage your audience, you want to acknowledge comments. So when they comment, you want to either like their comment or comment back, but you want to engage their comment somehow. And again, I can't say it enough, you want to listen to your audience in order to know what engagement to give them. Then you want to converse with other brands. And what I mean by that is find other people that you can network with. There are all kind of coaches out there. There are coaches that do what I don't do, coach what I don't coach. So you want to talk with other brands. That way you're generating leads by sending them leads, because 9 times out of 10, if you send them people, they're going to send you people, because they want to keep that relationship established, because it's in their best interest. At the end of the day, a lot of times people are motivated by what's in it for me. So engagement answers that question. Now, just because they don't like your post doesn't mean that they aren't watching. This is very, very, very important to remember. Just because they don't click like doesn't mean you didn't get their attention, hold their interest, stir the desire, and provoke them to take action. Sometimes it just means that they are leery about click and like, because the society has had the stigma around Facebook that if you like a comment, that means that you agree 100%. So let's say I post about struggling in my business, and another business likes that. People may assume that that business is struggling as well. So people are very shy about click and like when it comes to certain things, but it doesn't mean that they're not watching. And I know that they're watching because I have received inboxes before where people have talked about how they enjoyed a post or something that I've done, and nobody liked it. Nobody physically liked it, but it was obvious that they paid attention to it and they did like it. Now let's talk about LinkedIn. If I was to describe LinkedIn, I would say LinkedIn is like the corporate of social media, or the country club of social media. What it does is it is your who's who people that you find on LinkedIn. It's your more upscale social media platform. So it's very important that your profile is completely filled out, your past work history, your current, that you always are posting status updates on new things that you're doing within your business, so that they start to trust you and your business as a viable business that's doing things. So you want to post about your services. LinkedIn is based completely on trust. That's why when you go to connect with someone, unless they've sent you the information first, it'll ask you all kind of questions like, how did you meet them, if they're a colleague, somebody you work with, a personal friend, if you know their email address, et cetera, et cetera. And it's because their sole goal is to create connections between people that can actually use each other's services. You can also connect with those you meet, and how you do this is when you're handing out business cards at networking events, etc., you actually invite those people to connect with you on LinkedIn and build those connects. They need connects just as much as you do, so 9 times out of 10, they're quicker to do that than like you on Facebook. Then you want to connect with those you contact via email, and the way you do that is in LinkedIn, as you're building your connects, it will actually look up anybody whose email addresses that you have, and it will send them, if you tell it to, it will send them an invite to connect with you on LinkedIn. And because it's already been proven that you have corresponded with them through email, you don't have to go through the red tape of proving that you know them. You already proven that through the email. Google Plus. Google Plus is an SEO tool that we have that a lot of times we overlook. And the reason why I say that is because it's a powerful platform that not only integrates with Google apps like Google Docs, etc. It helps with SEO because it's Google. It allows us to build an online presence that we wouldn't normally have, and it's also easy to share with your audience. And we'll get more into that in a minute. Driving followers growth. Now, what you do to drive your followers and to grow that is you use your email contacts. You invite them to connect with you on Google+. And then you add it to your website. Add a Google+ icon to your website. We're quick to do Facebook and Twitter, but we forget about Google+. And then the more you share, the more you're seen. So the more information you put out there, the more it climbs you up on the Google search engine, and the easier it will be for you to be found, especially in your area. Now, being more strategic with your circles. What in the world are the circles? Because before I did not understand what their meanings were. Well, it's a way for you to categorize how you met a particular person and how you're going to communicate with them. So let's say I went to a women's conference, or which I did, and the women that I met there, I wanted to put in a particular circle. So when those ladies reached back out to me to follow me on Google+, I put them in the conference circle. Why? Because I know what was covered in that conference, and I know that the women that went are interested in particular things. So as I'm posting, I can actually privately share information just with them. So you want to do the same thing with your followers. You want to put them in a separate circle because those are the ones that you market to. The people that you are interested in networking with, like they have a brand or a product you think would make a good match with yours, you'd want to put them in a networking circle. That way you know that these are people that you can network with presently or in the future to help grow each other's businesses. So that's what the circles are for. The circles are basically to help you categorize your business contacts on Google+. Now, the engagement strategies are the same. You want to acknowledge comments, you want to listen to your audience, and you want to engage with other brands. That's across any social media platform. Pinterest. Okay, so when you're looking for a cute idea or a color idea or a marketing tip and you Google it, 9 times out of 10, somebody's Pinterest is going to come up. So if it works for them, why can't it work for us? Pinterest is a great way to drive traffic to your website. It's a great way to get you seen by other people. It's a great way to brand yourself as an expert, like if you're writing particular articles on fitness and things like that and you're pinning those things out there, then it's branding you as an expert because every time somebody reads that or they're searching for healthy lifestyles or something like that and you come up and they read your information and it helps them, then it's branding you as an expert. Then you want to add pin it buttons to anything, any platform, any website that allows you to do so. That way, it allows other people to share your information. On Twitter, you retweet. On Facebook, you share. On Pinterest, you pin. You also want to go in and follow other people on Pinterest and share their pins, just like you retweet or share on Facebook. Then you want to verify your website for optimizing your Pinterest presence. When you set up your account, you do want to go ahead and go through the process of verifying your website because it helps with your visibility on Pinterest. And you want to be active. You want to make sure that you are engaging people and their pins and sharing with other people and commenting. Then you also want to add at least 10 boards over the next 2 weeks. And the reason why I say that is because if you're anything like me, Pinterest is the last thing on your mind. So it's hard to keep that engaged the way you would Facebook or Twitter. So it's important that you add at least 10 boards over the next 2 weeks to start growing your Pinterest presence. Then you want to follow other users. Well, you need to follow other users in order to be able to share their pins, as well as see the things that they're pinning and how people are responding. Just like with anything else, with Pinterest, you can also use hashtags. Instagram. Instagram can actually be used for business to basically show people that you really are doing business. If you're an author and you're at expos, you can take pictures being at book signings or expos or book fairs. You can take pictures of yourself going into networking events. You can take pictures of yourself on the way to service a client. You can take pictures of yourself. If you're a graphic designer, you can take pictures of your computer screen and talk about how you're creating some kind of creative logo or information for a particular business. Instagram can be used for all of that. The mobile app makes it mobile friendly, so you're able to tell your story on a go. You're able to post pictures right then that you take, and just like all the other platforms, you're able to use hashtags. And then it's great for optimizing events. So if you have an event or you're at an event and you want to really help that event get exposure, take pictures while you're there. Share it on Instagram. Share the experience that you're having, all of that, and it will help take you to it'll help take your social media to the next level, because people are able to feel like they were there even when they weren't there, and it encourages them to actually attend the next time. So even if it's not your event, the benefit to that is the next time you'll have even more people in the room to market to. Snapchat. Now, this is the one that blew my mind when I actually saw that it could be used for business. And then I actually looked at different ways it could be used for business. And I had because I didn't really deal with Snapchat, so I had my 10-year-old and my teenager actually show me how it worked. And it just opened a whole new door of ideas. It was like, oh, my goodness, yes, you can use Snapchat for business. So it's not just for teens. That's a myth. And it's actually really popular on social media right now. Now, what you can do is you can time your pictures according to its subjects. So that's key. If you want to be exclusive and only share this information with your clients, you can actually send them a daily, like for me, example, I could send them a daily marketing tip. Well, I don't have to worry about it being shared with other people, because once you view it, it's gone. So it's all inclusive, only for them, and it can't be shared with anybody else. Then you can use the text caption bar, so you can actually write text to go with your photos. And you can use the marker paint for your advantage. So if you're having a special, you can actually circle the price of the special to gather people's attention. And you can give your followers up to 24 hours to respond before engaging them again. That's important, because they can get the way the feed goes, they can miss something. Or try to view one thing and actually accidentally view something else and actually miss the importance of the information. That's why I say, do a tip a day or have a special day where you're actually on Snapchat sharing something. Share, I'm going to show you my newest basket idea if you're a person that makes baskets or something like that, and use Snapchat to do it. Then you want to reply to Snapchats you receive from your followers. So let them know how you felt about it. It's also a great way for your clients to ask you questions. They can Snapchat you a question. The convenience of that is they're out and about and they have Snapchat as an app on their phone. They can open it, record their question, and send it right then. So it becomes convenient. They don't have to wait on trying to get to an email or trying to remember it or worrying about texting while driving and all that kind of stuff, because they can literally just record their face asking the question and send it to you. The other beauty about Snapchat is it allows you to get raw. And what I mean by that is it allows you to share a part of yourself that you would not normally share. Like, let's say you just got up in the morning and you're looking kind of rough and you're struggling to get out of the bed. Well, Snapchat, you can actually sit up and tell your clients, it's just one of those days where I'm struggling to get out of bed, but you know as well as I do, we have to keep pushing. Everybody struggles with this, not just you. Just know to get up and keep pushing. Well, you're able to allow them to see you out of your business form as a regular person, but you don't have to worry about that circulating on social media, like Facebook and Twitter and being out there forever, because, again, once a Snapchat is opened, whatever time frame you have set on it is the only time they can watch it, and it can't be seen again. So there is no time for downloading and sharing and all of that. So you are able to get raw and say things that you may not want out there on other platforms like Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. Then be fun and creative with it. Think of little contests you can have or games that you can play with your followers to keep them engaged and educate them all at the same time. Now, here's some other ideas of some things that you can Snapchat about. You can do coupons. You might be a coupon that says 24-hour sale. This product's normally $50, selling it for $25, and snap that. Or you can do competitions on there. Let's say you do health foods and you do a picture of avocado, and you ask the people that you're coaching about healthy eating. What are some health benefits of avocado, and have them actually answer. And then you can also build a community of people that's interested in a particular topic, and you guys Snapchat back and forth about that particular topic or share tips with each other on that topic. Now, if you have any questions about the information that you have heard on today, feel free to reach out. Again, you can find me message me on Facebook at info@aneribellamy.com. You can email me at info@aneribellamy.com, or you can reach out to me through Messenger on Facebook at aneribellamy.com, and I'll answer any of those questions. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do a live question and answer session, but that doesn't mean I still can't answer those questions. So feel free to reach out with your questions or concerns. Also, I would love to hear what you thought about the information. If you thought the information was useless and a waste of your time, I want to know that as well. I want to know if you found the information to be very useful. I want to know if there's anything that I talked about that you wished I had talked about more or had more examples of. If you're transparent with me, or as I like to say, if you get raw with me and you give me the good, bad, and the ugly, it helps me to create better, more efficient products for you and webinars for you in order to make sure that I'm targeting the things that you're interested in and I'm providing you with the information that you need. So please, please, please take a moment and be very transparent with me and let me know what you thought about this webinar. Now, on last night, we actually had a special guest. His name was Mr. Anthony Collins, and he is the owner of Generational Enterprises. Now, what he shared with us was information on how we can help our personal finances to be able to finance our business, I guess is the best way to say that. So he has discovered a method to be able to start over, especially if your credit is not where it needs to be. And it's not rebuilding, it's actually starting over. So the beauty of that is you start with a clean slate and you're quickly able to build and maintain your credit into the 700s. I'm not the expert at this, so I'm not going to try to explain it in full, but what I can do is tell you that you can find out more information about it at anthonydcollins.net. That's Anthony, ANTHONY, D as in dog, Collins, COLLINS.net, and find out more information about it there. You can also message me if you'd like to get in contact with him, or message him directly on Facebook at Anthony D. Collins or Anthony Collins. Now, let's talk about the next upcoming events. What we have coming up next is on June the 11th, we have Birthing Your Video Marketing in 24 Hours on YouTube. This series is going to be all about creating an engaging video, ideas of videos you can create, and ways to market them on YouTube. I have noted that video marketing is something that we all need to do, myself included, and it's something that scares a lot of us because we're like, oh, God, what do I say? Well, how long do I say it? Well, I'm not sure what they're interested in, or the service I offer, I'm not sure how to do a video on that particular service. So we're going to walk through all of that. Then on June the 18th, we're going to look at birthing more business through blogging. We're going to walk through the whole blogging process. I'm going to actually teach you how to set up a blog, what to blog about, how to figure out what to blog about, where to pull content ideas from, and how to grow your blog to the point where it's actually creating a revenue for you. And then on June the 25th, I'm going to do Birthing a New Mindset, how to really know your audience. And what we're going to do there is we're going to talk about how to change the way you look at marketing and pushing your business to actually get to know your audience, to land those deals and leads more frequently just by being yourself and learning how to use who you are to speak to your audience. Now, each one is $15 a piece, or you can get all three for $35. So be on the lookout. I'll actually be creating events on Facebook for these, and then if you're interested in all three, I'll actually have a method for you to be able to purchase all three. And just like with this one, if you're not able to actually view them live, you'll receive the recording of them, so you can still get the information even if you're not able to attend live. Okay, so now I have a couple of bonuses for you. If you go to AneriBellamy.com, you'll see that I have a 4-week product development and marketing coaching session. I have an 8-week and I have a 12-week. Well, if you mention the word webinar, I actually am giving you 50% off of all of those coaching services. Now, I took it a step further, and I said, okay, well, perhaps they just need a jump start. So what I'm doing is I'm offering my $297 4-week coaching package for $99. That, again, is a special for the people on this webinar. Just mention the word webinar when you reach out to me, and I'll know that I'm supposed to offer that special for this 4-week coaching session. Now, if you want to lock in your position for that special, but you don't have the full $99 today, what you can do is you can secure your spot for $25. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I can only offer this to a limited amount of people, so I don't want anybody to miss out just because they don't have the money right away. So a $25 deposit will actually secure that spot for that $99 coaching. Now, 1 month of social media scheduled for $50. My regular price is $150. That covers your Facebook and your Twitter and one other platform of choice. Now, I'm offering this special at $50 because it's an opportunity to jumpstart your social media. I've taught you all kind of ways to engage your social media, but maybe you don't have time to revamp right now because you have some other things going on, or you just don't have the time, but you do have the desire to grow your social media presence. For the first 30 days, I am offering you that service at the discounted rate of $50 as opposed to the $150. Again, just mention the word webinar, and I'll know that you're interested in that particular special at that price. Now, I didn't want to let you leave without giving you some more hows. My formula and the way I operate in my coaching and anything that I do is I share the what, the why, and the how. I want you to know what you need, why you need it, and then how to go about getting it. So I'm giving you a free resource to go along with this webinar, and it's called The Beginner's Guide to Pinterest. And what this resource is it's going to walk you through Pinterest, because I chose Pinterest because we 9 times out of 10 have a Facebook or a Twitter. We just need to fine-tune how to do it. Or Google+. If you have a Gmail, you have a Google+. It's already there. LinkedIn, a lot of times we're on LinkedIn, but we want to master Facebook and Twitter. If you want to do it in the order, you would want to master your Facebook and your Twitter, and you would definitely want to get yourself mastered in Google+, and then look at Pinterest. LinkedIn will come, but I wouldn't make that top of the list priority because you have to practice your posting and all of that and really know your brand to be able to gather those leads on LinkedIn. So what I did was I picked the one that I thought we needed help in the most, and that was Pinterest. So I'm going to give you a free beginner's guide to Pinterest to go along with this webinar to help you dive in to that platform, and it walks you through the whole process. Again, I hope that this has been some valuable information. Please feel free to email me at info@AneriBellamy.com with any and all of your questions. If you dive in and find yourself lost, or you want some feedback on something that you're thinking about posting but you're not quite sure, you can also use that email to ask questions about that as well. And then I'm actually opening up a business marketing tips group on Facebook. And I'll actually put this in the email that I send with this recording. If you want to be added to that group, I will add you to that group. And then we're going to walk through each platform, and I'm going to start sharing weekly tips with you on how to be able to use those platforms or use those posts or share sample posts with you or implement challenges to push you to the next level in your social media. And as we go through the rest of these different events and marketing tips and strategies and courses, I'll actually be adding each of those to that. So the group is going to be not for posting your business ideas. I'll have different ways for you to be able to share your brand, but more for just receiving the information. And this group is only going to be for people that are signing up for the webinars or the trainings or have purchased an ebook, etc. So I really appreciate your time and you registering for this webinar. And again, feel free to email me at info@aneribellamy.com with your questions or if you're interested in any of the specials that we're offering. Until next time, thank you.